G'day, my name's John from St John Eagles, and today we're going to talk about snake bite. Look, snake bites are fairly rare, but they do happen, and it's not just confined to the bush. With the floods that are occurring in Queensland at the moment, northern New South Wales, snakes are looking for high ground, just like what we would do. So, the question is, if you got bitten by a snake, what do you do? Well, we're going to bring in a casualty, and we're going to go through the whole procedure as to exactly what you need to do if somebody you know, or yourself gets bitten by a snake. So, we've brought in Dawn, our victim here, and she's been bitten by a snake. So, it's really important that we follow the DRSABCD action plan that St John has. Now, D is for danger, R is response, S is send for help, so it's really important we get help on the way. If we've got a sat phone or a mobile phone, we can get in touch with the ambulance service. Then, airway and breathing. Well, Dawn's, fortunately, she's conscious. She's probably able to talk to me, so I think we've got the airway and breathing covered, so we don't need to do the C, which is CPR, and we certainly don't need a defibrillator today. So what we need to do is calm Dawn down, we need to settle her down, because when you get bitten by a snake, the venom doesn't go into the circulatory system, so we don't need to cut her open and suck the blood out or anything like that, because that'll just give us poison, then we'll have two victims. But what it does is enters the lymphatic system. And that relies on movement, so if Dawn's racing around going, oh, I've been bitten by a snake, then that's going to help promote the venom, move up her arm to a lymph node where the poison can enter a circulatory system. We don't want that to happen. So here's our bite here, bite site. There could be a couple, look like even a couple of scratches. Because you're not going to hang around and wait for the snake to actually, grab hold of you and stick those venoms in. It's more likely to be a scratch. So it's a wound, so we need to treat the wound. So we get some gauze bandage, and the first thing we need to do is we just need to cover the wound. So that's a good thing to get started. So this bandage is a little bit overkill, it's a bit long, but that's okay. So we cover the wound, and then because we don't want her to move her arm, we want to apply a compression bandage or a pressure mobilisation bandage to her arm, starting just below her fingertips. So, because we can still check to see if we don't want to cut off her circulation, so we can check some capillary refill and find out whether we've cut off the circulation by squashing your fingers. So next we get our compression bandage, and as we said, we start just below the fingertips, and we quite firmly, and a compression bandage is an elasticized bandage that is going to help minimise the movement of Dawn's arm, and not cut off her circulation. But what we want to do is we don't want Dawn moving, so I might even get you to support your arm, beautiful, to help stop it moving. Now you're okay, good, breathe nice and carefully, nice, control your breathing there. As you can see, I'm not quite all the way up the arm there, so what I do is I keep going and I get another compression bandage and I continue all the way up the arm, and I want to go, and we don't have to worry about the clothing, we go straight over the clothing if we have to. Yep, because we want to apply that pressure and we want to control what's going on. And if I get to the top of the arm and I've still got bandage left, well, I can come back down the arm. It's really not going to matter. And there we go. Now I can just tuck that in there. Now I just want to check that I haven't cut the circulation off. So good colour coming back, so I actually haven't cut the circulation, but I've now restricted movement of the arm. And if I want to restrict it even further, what I can do is I can use a splint. So I can put the splint under Dawn's arm there. I just need to adjust that. Okay, and what I can do is I can get another bandage and I can put that around the whole splint and the arm, and what I can do now is we're really immobilising the situation. So now the other thing I would need to do is note what time that we've put this on. So let's just say that it's 9:45. So we know when the pressure mobilisation bandage came on. And we could also mark approximately where the bite site is, so when they go to hospital, all the hospital needs to do is roll the bandage back, they can take a swab and they can identify the snake, and they can provide the appropriate anti-venom. And that's how we treat a snake bite.